Welcome back to my emotional support besties. I'm here with my bestie, Reed.
Oh, I'm here with my bestie, Tori.
Woo, gotcha. Well, we have a lot to share this week.
Woo!
I don't know if it's a lot. It's a lot as in you need to prepare yourself.
You should be very glad you're tuning in right now. I'll just tell you
Yeah,
that.
this is an exclusive that we haven't given. We've been getting feedback that people haven't been able to stop thinking about it once they've heard about it, and it's been a tight circle of people.
Yeah.
So get ready.
You might need a bit of a trigger warning.
Yeah. I would agree. I think if you start to listen and feel a little scared,
It's okay.
it's okay.
But we're
here
here
with you, besties. Okay, we're here for emotional support. But first off, we're really tired,
So sleepy.
so sleepy because we had an adult sleepover last night,
A slumber party.
a slumber party, for the first time in I can't even tell you how long.
No.
And I don't think I could even begin to explain to you the amount of hours I got of sleep.
0.
Probably. It kind of feels like it.
But it's different from when we were kids and we had sleepovers, as
Yes.
in we got 0 hours of sleep because we have old aching bodies that can't
Yeah.
really sleep well
Correct.
in places that are not our bed.
Correct.
So we're a little sleepy, a little delusional,
Yep.
but you know what?
We hope that's good.
We're gonna
content.
lean in
That's right.
as two girl bosses. We do what we do. We
That's
lean
right.
in.
That's right. We show up and we do the thing, even on
Mhm.
little sleep. We've had lots of matcha. We've had lots of caffeine. We've had
Mhm.
lots of sweets. We'll see what
Correct.
happens.
Cake for
But I
breakfast.
frankly don't understand how we did this as kids.
I don't know. We kept
went
going to.
hard.
We were the Energizer Bunny.
We would we would stay awake until 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning.
The sun would rise.
We'd watch like 8 episodes of George Lopez.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Do y'all remember when you'd fall asleep?
Rider.
Yes.
Every time. Because it would be like that. Okay, delirium's past. I'm now a zombie. We're going to fall asleep. And it was usually Reed and I were the last ones.
Always.
And then TGIF or whatever on ABC would still be playing.
Nickelodeon too.
Yeah, Nick at Night.
Nick at
Night. And then you'd be just falling asleep. And then Lowrider would start.
No.
And for some reason there was something so intriguing about it that's like I didn't want to close my eyes.
I'm like, what episode is this going to be?
I know,
feel like the
what's George up
episode
to?
that I always saw like a million times was when the son was like wetting his bed and George was so
Aw.
upset and he's like, why is my kid a bedwetter? And then he
Sweet
found out
boy.
he had like an issue with his kidneys.
Oh, woof. I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, that episode like was like,
wow,
I
poor
just kept
kid.
singing it.
Poor young gentleman.
I know, I can't remember the kid's name, but
Oh,
yeah, it's quite the lesson.
quite. That feels like that's a lesson to take home.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good one.
The lesson?
Yeah.
Don't assume you make an ass out of you and me.
Amen, sister. There was a lot of shenanigans that would happen at our sleepovers, a lot of prank calls, a lot of putting bras in freezers,
You
a
never
lot
put a
of
bra in a freezer.
I did
You're
that
lying. Oh my
multiple
gosh, I wasn't
times.
there.
Oh,
Well, oh.
that's awkward. You get the bra a little wet and then you put it in the freezer, then they would get mad in the morning because their bra would be covered in ice.
Wow.
I know. Bullying maybe a little bit. Sharpie drawing on people.
Sharpie?
Yeah, I did that at a sleepover.
What? These are not the sleepovers I was in. I was at the sleepovers where
Prank
we
calls.
would play American Idol and then all get in a fight because we all wanted to be the best singer. And we would just argue about it. And then people would go off in the corner and be like, I really thought my audition was really good.
Trials and tribulations
I
that we
always-
faced.
I always liked to play Simon Cowell when we played.
I mean, it's a fun character to lean into, to be a little bit of an ass.
Yeah.
No, I loved a sleepover as a kid because I liked the fact that like the fun felt like it was never ending.
Yeah. You just kept going and going and going.
Yes.
That's why we didn't want to fall asleep.
Correct, because we were scared of FOMO.
I will say though, I was felt that way, but then I also was the kid that always had to be like, "Hey Tori, can you go wake up your parents? I'm scared and I want to go home." And so at like
Every damn
4
time.
in the morning, Tori would have to be like, Mom, can you call Reed's parents and have them come get her?" I don't know. I had like separation anxiety, real bad, like for a really long time.
Yep. Sure did.
Oops.
But also, like, I feel like these sleepovers that we had often it was a lot of people.
Yeah, our parents were
We'd
very
like
accommodating.
fill a living room.
Yeah.
7 to 8 bodies.
Yeah.
Yep. And we were always the ones still awake.
And my parents would always come down and be like, "Reed, it is 3 in the morning. Keep it down. Go to sleep."
Yep, it was always us too.
It
They
was
were always
us.
like, "You and Tori need to be quiet because your voices are carrying on the stairs." And we're like, "We're just talking in a normal volume." And they're like, "We'll whisper."
That it was always, "Your voices carry.
Yes.
You two girls, your voices carry."
We should have bought our parents white noise machines.
Yeah, I've been like, so? Oh my God. This makes me think of one sleepover I had. I'm sorry you weren't there.
It's okay.
I had this sleepover and it was very late. It was very late at night.
Nothing
We're
good
all
happens
sitting
after
in-
midnight.
No, we're all sitting in the living room and I'm facing the girls. My back is to the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And the TV is like positioned in a corner. So like there's room behind the
course.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking. And all of a sudden one of the girls goes, "Oh my God," and points behind me. And I go into fight or flight.
Nope.
I immediately, the only thing that she could have seen is a man standing up from behind the TV.
Reed, who is that?
Literally a Reed, who is that? Like, I thought it was a man just emerging from the TV ready to kill us. So what did I do? I went, "Ah!" It's like 2 a.m. I sprint upstairs to my parents' room.
Without any confirmation.
All the girls follow me. And
Into your parents' room.
they stand in the hall, like shivering in outside my parents' room. And my parents are like, "What? What?" And I was like, "Ah!" And I didn't know what to explain because I didn't have any
actually
answers.
see it.
And I'm like, girls, what happened?"
Girls.
And they're like,
Ladies.
then they go, "There was a spider." And I was like,
Get out of town.
I thought there was a man in the house. My parents were,
Maybe it was
Yes.
a male spider.
maybe.
He was trying to join in on the fun.
Yeah.
It was Charlotte.
I just, wow. Yeah. My brain always jumps to weird conclusions. It's the anxiety.
Really reacting quickly.
You know, that really paid off
Yeah,
for
it
the
did.
story you guys are
It
going to
did.
hear in a bit.
Yep. It did.
Whoa.
But before we get to that, yeah, we had a fun sleepover for our girl Keeks last night.
Kiara.
Yep, gotta do it.
Always.
It is
Mm-hmm.
her birthday as we are recording and filming this, so
Yeet, yeet.
shout out, girl.
Happy birthday.
But we had a sleepover extraordinaire. It really was. It was all the good things. We had fairy twinkly lights. We had fun little curtains.
We had inflatable chairs.
Yep.
Very early 2000s.
All kinds of snacks we had. Oreos and peanut butter. A crucial snack for a sleepover.
So good.
A lot of we had pizza.
Too much
We
pizza.
had sour candies.
We had
It was great.
everything
great
that
time.
our 12-year-old selves would have wanted. And you
Yep.
know what? It was great.
We had wigs.
Oh, absolutely. We had wigs. And we also had karaoke.
Yep.
So
And we did blind karaoke, so everybody had to take a turn and they had to turn away from the TV, and we were at the mercy of the audience to pick us some songs. It was fun.
that's because you were good at it.
You weren't as bad as you keep saying. Where you kept going, I can't hear music. I can't hear music, which I still don't understand what that
Like,
means.
I can't hear the music. Like,
You can't hear the different, like, where it will change and lead into.
I don't know when you're supposed to be singing and when you're not. But
I understand
I
that.
also, what was the song? Okay, so they played, what's the song called? The Shania Twain, You're Still the One That I Want. You're Still the One.
Yes.
And I thought it
I was
was.
going to say, You Belong With Me. That's Taylor Swift.
I thought, I'm sitting there and they're like, come on, you can get it, you can get it, you can get it. And I'm kind of singing. I thought it was Coldplay. What was the song I thought it was?
I will try
To
to
fix you.
And she's singing that over the top of this song.
And I'm sitting in the inflatable chair. I'm like, okay. Oh, I got it. I'm like, fix you. And then I turn and I look and I see what it actually is. I lean forward. The inflatable chair comes out, pops over my head, and I land hitting a wine glass and shattering glass everywhere. Party foul, my bad.
She did it. She broke her own wine glass.
Oopsie.
Sorry. So that, I mean, but
Mazel
also,
tov.
yeah, mazel. We have melted cheese into carpets before it, sleepovers.
Wax.
I mean, we've done a lot of weird things. So
Wait, how did we melt cheese into?
we just had like a craft. Somebody was like eating craft singles, mommy cheese.
Yeah, mommy cheese, and they they fell asleep on it. I know exactly.
Yeah,
I know.
and so just from body warmth, it disintegrated into the carpet.
We also watched Monsters Inc. last night, and we have a lot of tea to spill on Monsters Inc.
Not passing the Bechdel test.
Let's just say, failing. Like, you're getting kicked out of school for failing the Bechdel test so badly.
Got 98%, but in the wrong way.
Yeah, so we're sitting there watching it, and friend of the pod, Sammy,
that's right,
makes a very just poignant,
astute
observation of how interesting most of these characters are male presenting. And we go, not only are they male presenting, the only women in this movie are the secretary, the girlfriend, and then Boo.
Yep.
And guess what? The secretary and the girlfriend are wearing clothes. Everybody else is not wearing clothes. And not only that, every single scarer is a man. And in every scene, it's all men monsters. Where are the women? Where are the women?
Where they at? I mean, here's the thing that I was trying to like, which I shouldn't like cover up for the patriarchy, but I was like, maybe it's because men are terrifying. They are so scary.
They are monsters.
And so if a male presenting monster appeared in my room, I'd be so scared. If a female one,
I'd be like, hey, friend.
I'd be like, hey, girl, what's up?
I'd be like, tell me about
Come
that monster world.
Play. Tell me all about it.
Yeah.
But men are terrifying. But I think it was a fact. But also it's like, okay, that could be true. But like, we'd love to see like a female CEO running the whole operation because she's like, I'm going to capitalize on patriarchy.
Yeah, where's like the CEO of Monsters Inc.? But then, you know what? I guess okay, I of course have to, look this up. There's nothing, like nobody was like, oh, we got it wrong. So sorry. Our apologies.
None of it.
Nor were there any Pixar people being like, you know what? Here's the purpose or reason. This is why. Nothing. No explanation. Only reputation. And then they did try, I guess, to make up for it in Monsters University because
I was going to say, I haven't watched that in a while. Maybe they bring women
the chancellor or the president of the university is in fact a female. But you know what that is just telling me? That's telling me that the patriarchy and misogyny is alive and well in the monsters world because that is a prequel. So you're telling me you went to school with all these women and none of them got hired. Not a one got hired.
It makes me think because like
they're regressing in the monsters world.
Well, then I'm like zoom out and I would love another movie because I think there's other scare factories.
Oh, yeah. Like, what is this universe?
So I'm like, I would love it if that was just like a very like patriarchal, male-centered environment. But then we like go to another city.
Well,
who run the world?
Okay.
Girls.
Question. After they're like, okay, yeah, actually Laughter's a lot more powerful than screaming. Are there other energy Monsters Inc. places in this universe where they're like, yeah, we're going to adopt those practices? Or are they more archaic and they're like, no, we're still scaring? Like, what is the, greater political move that ended up happening in this universe after this discovery?
What's their town called? Monstropolis?
Yeah, that's only a city. So, yeah.
So I want to know what's happening elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're probably following suits with most of other stupid men in this country who love to say things as offensive as, wow, you're actually pretty funny for a girl.
That
was embodied in Monsters Inc. at the end when they decided we're going to laugh but still not hire women.
Literally.
Because couldn't believe that they can't believe that a woman can be scary.
Scarer? Oh, I can be scary.
They don't believe that we can spook you. They also don't believe we can make you laugh.
And you know what?
Just saying.
Men can't make me laugh. That's what, yeah.
So suck my big toe, Mike Wazowski.
I also am just in absolute shock that it took all these years and us being all together watching this to have Sammy make this statement for me to even realize this. Like,
Yep.
I'm sorry, all you listening, are you like, duh, yeah, it's all men, it's Monsters, Inc., duh, it's the men. Or are you like, what? My whole life has been shaken. I didn't even realize that it was all men. Because that's how I was.
What a scary world for
How'd
little
they
Boo
get
to grow up
away
in.
with that?
Oh, I think they should create another Monsters, Inc. movie where Boo is the president.
She comes back?
Yeah, she comes back. She's the president. She takes over Monstropolis, and she's running a female empire.
Yeah. Or she comes and she scares them.
Oh, yeah, like the humans start scaring the monsters.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that.
when you think about it, the monsters were way more scared of the kids than the other way around.
I completely agree. Well, I mean, I think this just proves, like, women should be consuming media and having intellectual dialogue about it, and that's who we should be trusting.
Yeah.
You know? Because power in numbers with women. And we really dissected that ish in less than 5 minutes, and we knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, we were like, okay.
Yeah, duh. And nobody was in disagreement. Everyone was on board. Wow. Women, their communities. Power.
Yeah. Apparently Pixar in its early days really struggled and thought only people would want to watch male-led movies of cartoons. But you know what? I don't want to see a man on my TV.
Amen.
Sorry.
Also, something wild. We watched Lizzie McGuire this morning when we woke up.
Great.
That show only had 2 seasons. And it feels like it was a monumental thing in my life. Only 2 seasons. So it made a really good point where they were like, that's how you remember all her outfits. Because there wasn't that many episodes.
That's also how, you don't have to be here for a long time to make a big impact in this world.
That's right. That's right. Thank you for that, Hillary Duff. Also, there was some, like, kind of racy jokes in there, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about how one of the girls was stacked. And I was like, whoa, would I have known what that meant at 10 or whatever, however old I was when I was watching this? I thought it was funny.
Dang.
But also, like, they're in high school.
They were in middle school, actually.
Middle school?
Yeah, they were middle schoolers.
Wow, those kids looked like full-grown adults.
I know. Even when I watch it back now, I'm like, they look way older than, like, middle schoolers.
1,000%.
Isn't it strange how people, like, I saw something recently where it was like, I'm watching Friends, the show Friends, and I am older than all of them, but I look at them and I'm like, oh, they're older than me. Like,
yes. That's how I felt about the parents in Lizzie McGuire. And I was like, oh, they are absolutely an appropriate age to be parents of this age of children. But I was like, they feel so old to me. They weren't.
Yeah.
They were like mid-40s.
Yeah.
Early 40s.
Yeah.
So, like, why was I mean, as a kid, I could get it because everyone seemed old. But even watching it now, I think it would just stuck in my head. They were old.
Yeah.
Not old. Age appropriate.
That was like when they tried to remake, or I guess they did remake Father of the Bride. And it was like when they said how old Steve Martin was. Who's the mom and father of the bride?
Diane Keaton.
Yeah, Diane Keaton. And it was like the same age as, I don't know, like John Legend and like
Chrissy Teigen.
Chrissy Teigen. And it's like,
whoop. Oh, I know.
What?
That'll open your eyes straight up.
Whoa.
Got him.
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired.
I want a fat nap. Like, I want
that
a nap.
Sounds so good.
Where I wake up and I'm like, where the fuck am I right now?
But I think if I took a nap right now, I would just wake up tomorrow morning.
That's a long sleep.
Sounds great.
That
we need the
nice.
slumber.
Yeah, and I want
slumber.
I want warm milk. I want to wear a nighty gown.
Gag.
I want a little sleep hat, and I want a candle and a little.
You want a little candle lit lantern?
Yeah, and I want to be like, oh, go to bed. I want to be Winnie the Pooh, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
When he goes to bed, yeah, he's so.
and
cute.
you're not gonna wear any pants.
No, but in this version of Winnie the Pooh, he's wearing like a little dress, so it's okay.
You're right.
I know.
I thought he was just wearing a white shirt, but still doing no bottoms.
No,
That's basically how I sleep.
you Winnie the Pooh it to bed.
Basically, I'm in a big t-shirt and underwear.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get trapped in pants. I think that was part of my problem last night too.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
wearing shorts, but I was like, I
Warm.
just feel like too formal for bed. You know?
I'm in my formal nightwear.
Yeah, my formal attire. Embarrassing.
I love how do you have a drawer that's like night shirts and it's like all
1,000%.
Yeah. Like you go to a concert or you get a shirt from an
Yep.
event or just something like that and it's your night shirts.
Yeah, I do have 2 drawers of that because I have
Woo.
a lot of t-shirts.
Yeah.
But I also like any chance I can just be in those shirts, I am.
yeah, those are my comfort shirts.
Yeah,
I'm
those are my
trying to get
cozies.
I'm trying to come home from any event and just get in my snuggly comfies and
yes.
like put my legs up for a bit,
Yes, I think it's my favorite thing that we finally reached an age. Friday night we were out getting a little end of the week celebration. We made it to the weekend, and the way that it was like 9:00. No, I think it was 8:30, and we all were like, "So, go home and get in sweats."
Yeah.
and then wanted to go to bed at 10.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like this energy a lot.
We enjoy our sleep these days.
Yeah, I like to be silly, goofy in sweatpants.
I do too. I don't
It feels
want
free.
I don't want to be in denim ever.
Oh God.
Don't put me in denim.
I know we love a tailored denim around here, but that's honestly, I think denim should be standing room only.
And max 4 hours.
Yes.
There should be a time limit on how long you
yeah,
can
you know
wear
how like you do
denim.
parking, kitty?
Yeah.
I think that we should get ticketed if we have to wear denim for longer than 4 hours.
They're like, go back, put on your sweats now.
yeah, and I don't want anyone to validate my parking.
No.
I want a max and I want them off. I want them to be mandated.
Yeah, I wanted mandated sweatpants.
Mandated accountability to take off my denim.
Yeah. And get my underwear off and my sweatpants.
Ugh,
Get my bra off.
absolutely.
Don't have anything clinging to my skin.
No, God, the
I got
sensory
sensory
overload.
issues. It's called being overly sensitive to What is it called? What's it called? When I don't like the sensory stuff.
Sensory overload.
Okay, that's what I have. And you know what? Sometimes
Same.
I want to crawl out of my own skin. If
Just for
something
having skin. Sometimes I'm too
touches
aware of my
me.
skin.
Oh my God, if it's raining out,
And your skin's dry?
if I have to wear denim in the rain,
Nope.
and there's a little bit
Nope.
of dampness, a little bit of humidity with denim, oh my God. Get it off of my body right now. Let me put my hair up in a bun. I don't want anything to touch me. Oh, God.
I get really mad when it's because I've left the house. So, like, did my hair, put on makeup, whatever. And I already was feeling a little overwhelmed as I was getting ready. But I was like, I'm fine because I was in my own space. And then I leave the house, and within an hour of wherever I'm at, and I'm stuck there. And it's usually because I put jeans on and I'm going to have to wear them for longer than 4 hours. But like hair's done, whatever. And I immediately want to rip off my own skin, shave my head. Because everything that's even touching me that I'm aware of in my existence makes me want to scream.
Ugh, God. Yeah, it's the freaking worst.
Like, I just want to claw my skin off sometimes.
Especially if there's like something on my face, like foundation or concealer.
Especially if you put foundation or concealer over your skin you thought you properly moisturized and primed
And
before
it's
you
dry.
did it. And then it's dry and you're trying to cover acne. Yeah, I think this is the thing we should have given a trigger warning about.
Yeah, I'm so
too.
sorry. You probably are crawling out of your skin now listening to this. Like,
I am just
Zoinks.
thinking about it. My mom, and I know that this is for certain, so it's not going to be another thumbnail situation. I know this for sure. I used to have massive tantrums as a toddler when I would get into clothes, and my mom didn't understand it. How we didn't know there was some neurodivergency running in there then? It was the 90s. But she literally, like, at the pediatrician, they're like, anything else you want to talk about? And she was like, well, I can't get her to stay in clothes. Like, it's a full meltdown. And he just was like, let her pick out her own clothes. Solved.
Yes.
And ever since she did that,
Much better.
game changer. And I'm still the same way. It's really hard for me to even pick out clothes the night before, so I've stopped doing that because I don't know what sensory mood I'm going to be in the next morning.
But do you have your emotional support clothes? Like the
1,000%. I have like
clothes-
5 outfits that if I could wear every day and not care, I would.
My safety clothes. My clothes where I'm
Yes.
like, ooh, I'm going to be a bitch if I wear anything other than this.
Yes, and it's usually like baggy clothes.
Yeah. And
'Cause I don't wanna
no
feel it.
tags.
Oh,
And I got to
or
wear.
tight wrists.
Or, no. Nothing's worse than a shirt that goes not all the way down to your wrist.
Oh,
Like where it's like a little
good
exposed
Lord.
wrist. I need to be able to put my sweatshirts. I need to be able to hold the sleeve of my sweatshirt. If I can't,
I completely agree. And these are the things that have made us need emotional support this week.
from each other. But we have
We do have something else.
we do have
that
something-
we need to share.
and we're really burying the lead here because
We
this is a harrowing tale.
But I think this is going to take up probably the rest of the episode because we have a lot to walk
We
you
have
through,
a
you guys, and
lot.
we needed to save the best for last.
It's so much to unpack.
Yep. And really the point of this week's episode, we started our new segments last week. This kind of wraps all of it into one. What brought us emotional support this week? Each other.
Mm-hmm.
What made us need emotional support? This situation.
Correct.
And so I think both of those questions peaked on Friday afternoon.
All right, we're gonna set the stage here for this situation that took place on Friday.
I feel like it's giving ASMR storytelling. Lean in close, friends.
And buckle up because this is something that really shook our world.
Mhm.
It honestly
Mhm.
altered and shifted our entire lives.
I feel like there was before this incident and after, and nothing else exists.
I couldn't agree more.
It feels like a life-defining moment.
It for sure was. All right, so I'm setting the stage here. Friday. Tori and I are on a volunteer board for a nonprofit together.
And we're not sharing this to get pats on the back. That makes us sound so cool. We're like, hey, so we're on this.
It's an associate board. We're not on the grown-up board.
we call it the grown-up board.
The governing board, the like legit board, that's called the grown-up board. We're on the associate board. We're the kids.
Yep.
Anyways,
We're the babies.
we're the babies. But we had our strategic planning retreat where we were setting up, what are our goals for the year, talking through everything, getting connected with everybody else who's on the board.
We made
And
this great agenda. We're psyched. We got all the stuff planned out. Gonna have a great time.
Tori and I are, in fact, the social chair, the co-committee social chairs
Does it
for
surprise anyone?
not one bit.
Mm-mm.
We like to be social. We get there, and another member of the board is our best friend, Nicole.
Yep.
Friend of the pod.
Friend
And-
of the pod. Shout out.
Our besties since we were children. So we're there. We're getting started. We're meeting all these new people.
Yep. And they're
Um,
sitting at our table. That's
sitting at our
important to
table.
note.
Me and Tori, we're sitting in the back of this room, getting geared up and ready to go. We are fired up for the day.
We're very excited because we were told earlier in the week that one of the actual employees of this organization was going to bring us a full spread of Mediterranean food.
So excited to eat this Mediterranean
so
food.
excited.
We were expecting to have to eat on our own beforehand and show up. But what's the greatest thing is when there is food at an event, because then you don't have to think about bringing food nor eating food in advance.
Or so we thought.
We get our plates filled to the brim with Mediterranean food.
So hungry.
What do we got? We got some dolmas. We got some hummus, 3 different types. We got some
Spanakopita.
pita, spanakopita, and
Euro.
falafel. We're sitting in the back, and we're just about to get started. There's some opening remarks,
Beautiful.
and then we are watching a video put on by the executive director of this nonprofit to really get everybody in the mood, fired up for the day, and just,
And we're joking before or as it starts because they pull it up and it was like 1 minute and 52 seconds. In our head, we had set the agenda for this to be a solid 20.
Yeah.
A solid 20 minutes.
We thought this video was gonna be 20 minutes. So Tori leans over to me, makes a little joke. She's like, "Hey, look, it's only 1 minute and 52 seconds."
So I was like, we're going to have to ramp. We're going to have to riff after this so that we can fill some of the time.
Yeah, because we were the agenda makers, and we thought we did
we
a
wanted
really
it to go smooth,
yeah,
you know?
we thought we did good with even though I have time blindness, I feel like
We did great.
I was really confident in that.
Yep.
Then we see that we're like chuckling, like, "Hey, we're gonna get out early."
Yeah, we're like, take an extra break. It's going to be fine.
So that moment passes.
Very quickly.
I'm sitting there and I'm really focused on this video, just like, cool. And
Cool,
Tori's
cool.
next to me. I see her grab some of her
Seltzer
LaCroix
water. Yep.
and take a little sip, and then she taps me on the arm.
Mm-hmm.
This is where
about 30 seconds into the video. So
30
the
seconds
first
into the
couple
video.
of seconds I'm riffing, right? And then we're not saying anything to each other. About
Yeah.
30-ish seconds.
and everybody, the room is quiet except for the video. Everybody is facing the video screen. Again, we are in the back of the room looking at the screen. Everybody else,
So everyone's in front of us.
most people are, everybody is in front of us.
Yep.
And at this moment, this is when our lives changed
forever.
forever. Tori taps me. My first assumption, she's gonna make a joke again about video's almost over. Look how like quick.
Look how much we underestimated.
Look how much we underestimated. We're flying through the agenda. Hey. That's not what happened. Tori looks at me. I've never in my life seen the amount of fear on someone's face that she had ever.
I've never felt such fear.
It was, whoa. Oh, I don't like thinking about it, honestly. And I look at her and I'm like, what?
And Reed's thinking to herself, did someone poison her?
Well, because Tori looks at me and she has panic and fear on her face. And I'm like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, food comes spilling out of her mouth, kind of like The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, she's been poisoned.
It's funny because I didn't really think about that image until now because we've talked about this a lot. In my head, I was like, poison. But now when you think about like in a movie when someone's poisoned, like blood starts pouring out of their mouth or something. Yeah, I can see it.
And like when somebody like drinks like,
Yes.
the poison drink and then it's the pause, look, what have you done?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Yep.
So Tori, we're making eye contact. She has extreme fear on her face. Stuff comes out of her mouth and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Then she does the universal international sign of choking up to her neck and I panic. I'm like,
panic begins. Panic ensues. Granted, I have already been panicking for a solid 30 seconds because I haven't taken a breath in 30 seconds because no air was going into my trachea.
yeah. So she's actively choking, actively cannot breathe
On a piece of fucking falafel.
whilst we're watching this video amongst most, like,
We know about 75% of people in there. Obviously, the only other person we're really close with, Nicole, sitting across the room. Zero clue what's happening yet.
doesn't know that her friend is in such dire distress
Literal.
until I yell, Tori! And then I go, hello!
As if she's mad at everyone else for not knowing.
I get everybody's attention. I'm standing up.
Video's still playing.
Video
mind
is
you.
still playing. Everybody like looks back like, what? Like thinking that we're cracking a joke or something.
Yes.
I stand behind Tori, arms around her, ready to give the Heimlich, but also I'm like, pause for a second, thinking,
Realizing
did
I'm
I-
not an expert.
one, I don't know the Heimlich, never been trained. That's a problem. Two, I'm like, am I overreacting? Like, am
Yeah.
I, I had a little bit of embarrassment for a moment where it's like that feeling of, did I just, make this up in my head? And then
get
I'm going
it.
to have to be like, oh, never mind. Don't look at us over here.
Yeah.
Tori was fine this
Being
whole
silly.
time. No, Tori was not fine. She could not breathe. I needed to save my best friend. This was a life or death that we were talking about. So I put my arms around her as though I am about to do the Heimlich. And then I realize I don't know how to do the Heimlich. So I yell, first, Does anybody know the Heimlich? Everybody stares at me. Blank faces. They don't know what to do. I make
Aaron,
eye contact.
Soul panic.
I make eye contact with our friend Nicole. We look at each other. She glances away. I think, oh, she knows our best friend is going to die in front of us right here, right now. Oh my God, she's accepted the fate. Oh my God, I have to do something about this. So I go to do the Heimlich. Again, I yell, does anybody
fucking know the Heimlich?
No, it's, does anybody know the fucking Heimlich? They stare at me. I pull a little. Just slightly, because, I don't want to hurt Tori. I don't want to break Tori. At this point, I'm like, is the Heimlich what she needs? What she need? I do that.
And at that point, people were rushing.
I pull a little. She coughs a bit. Somebody yells, she's coughing. She's fine. She can breathe. I'm like, oh, okay, then I'm not going to give her the Heimlich because I don't want to hurt her. Actually, don't believe the fake news. If somebody is making noise while they are choking, Tori, tell them.
Yep, because it also wasn't it wasn't like I was like, I think it was just a little like that because I was still trying to get the food up. And I think because you also removed your hands, that's because I've started to slowly remember a little bit of it. I definitely blacked out because I was in full shock. I think I remember thinking because during this whole thing, it was a weird experience of almost floating above myself. Not physically, of course. I couldn't picture like an angel circling around, but it was a full out of body experience and a weird acceptance a little bit for a minute. For not a minute, that's a really long time, but for a solid 10 seconds, I just accepted the fact that I might die right there. And then I came back into myself, and I think that was like the squealy noise of like, don't give up. Because it's still in there.
And because people were saying, she's fine.
Yeah, they're like, she's fine. I remember like kind of looking around and I was like, I can't talk. That was what was really freaky.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't walk you through what was happening.
And you couldn't be like, I remember like being like, do you need the Heimlich? Like I was like, is that like what you need? And she couldn't tell me. And she kept going like this. So that I'm like, okay, she does.
Yep.
But
and then Reed
I let
hits
go.
my back.
I hit her back because the only training I have had is baby Heimlich, where you
it's the only Heimlich I've ever had to give.
Yeah. So then, as that happens, she just and so much stuff comes out, and
all the falafel
everywhere
that I had eaten in the last 30 minutes,
all over her pants, everywhere, and we're all like looking at her like, oh my God. Just kind of staring blankly.
Also, these poor children. I call them children. They're not children, but they seemed so young to me in my moment of despair. New board members just staring at me in horror.
First impression.
Well, one of them I had already met before, but this kid that was to my immediate left, he didn't know me from Adam.
But now he does. Now he's seen you in your most traumatic experience.
Forget me. I like to think of what his evening was.
Of like, guys.
He went home to his wife and was like, I'm going to need to. She's like, how was it? And he's like, you better buckle up, Susan. I don't know what her name is. You better sit down and listen because I got a tale to tell you.
A woman?
There's a girl named Tori, and I'll never forget her face.
She almost died.
Yeah.
Right in front of me.
The Exorcist occurred right in front of my own eyes.
But then Tori, she's in complete shock.
I don't remember any of this. I don't remember any of it.
The thing you guys need to know about Tori and I, we are so similar. Like, we think the same. We're both Sag Moon, so of course we're so similar.
Always.
But the thing that's very different about us is I am an emotional processor. Like, everything, I don't think, I feel everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I cry about any and everything. Tori, she's not a crier.
Mm-mm.
She's a thinker. You like to process. You like to sit in things.
Yep.
She feels a lot. She's empathetic as hell, but
it
it's
doesn't
not
come out outwardly.
It's not an outward experience. I'm an outward feeler. She's an inward feeler. So in this moment, I'm like almost crying already, and I'm like, Tori, are you okay? And she goes, yeah. like almost like not a thing happened. Like nothing happened.
I'm sure too. It was like if this had just been at home, I maybe would have had a bigger reaction. But I think I probably had some like awareness of like who the company was.
Yeah, where you're
who
like,
was around me. People that I didn't feel safe doing that around yet. Sorry, friends, but
well, because it's like, okay, this is a semi-professional setting.
Yes.
I've been around these folks, a handful of times. Love
people
them.
were wearing khaki pants. Okay, this wasn't
this wasn't
free for all.
in the comfort of our sweatpants.
No, I was in denim.
We're just like, oh, kind of gotta keep myself together. I can't break down in front of these.
Yeah, because I was like,
this crowd
I
right
did
now.
live, so it's not like I'm getting taken away in an ambulance. So it feels like I have a choice to make here. It's either this was an emergency, I'm leaving, or I lived. So I guess we're doing this.
Yeah. So it's like,
I was like, I got icebreakers to lead.
correct.
We got to roll.
So then we're all standing around her. We're like, hey, are you okay? She's like, yep. And we're like, do you want to go to the bathroom? We asked her multiple times, and she's kind of like using a napkin right there, just kind of brushing stuff off her shirt, like looking around, very much in shock, very out of it, and just like, yeah. And my processing was like, dude, Tori, do you realize what just happened? Like, that was my thought process. She was not in her body, I'll tell you that.
Nope.
So then we get her up.
The ghost of me had not returned back to my body.
Not yet. We get her up. We're walking across the building to go to the bathroom. I'm rubbing her back, being like, you sure you're okay? Yep. Yeah. I'm like, you good? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she good.
And then she's walking to the bathroom. I go, can I come in there with you?
They're also like Reed and then the woman who had bought all the food are like have my elbows. So I think maybe you guys were a little worried maybe I'd fall too, because I just was very like out of it. That I remember, but only until we like got across the building to the bathrooms.
Yeah.
I don't remember getting there.
Yeah. We get to the bathroom, and you tell me later, because I was like, can I come in with you?
Yeah, you're like, do you want me to come in here? And in my head, I'm like, if Reed does not come into this damn bathroom with me, I'm gonna lose my shit. But it was like that was happening in my head, but I didn't know how to say it outwardly.
Couldn't speak.
And so you're like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah. But in my head, I'm like, I can't be alone right now. What if I pass out? What if something happens?
Yeah,
I was so scared.
She's not well. I need to be in that bathroom with her. I don't want her
Yes.
to be by herself.
Yes. So we walk into the bathroom, and I'm starting to clue into what's happening.
But she also, like, you're in very, just like business as usual operation in terms of she grabs the paper towel, she's wetting them, she's looking down, she's cleaning off her shirt, she's cleaning off her pants, and I'm like, I immediately start saying to her, you're gonna need to emotionally process this. Why is that my first?
I think because I just was so calm and not acknowledging what happened yet. I just hadn't said anything.
Yeah, because I think
there probably was fear on your behalf because that was so traumatic to witness.
Oh my God.
But also just like, you know me well enough to know that I'm not going to be willingly vulnerable enough to say anything out loud either. So I think you were like, this is an acceptable circumstance to lose your shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I think I was trying to be like, it's okay. This was very scary. You can be scared.
Thank you for giving me permission to be scared.
But I kept saying, I'm like, you're gonna need to emotionally
It was like
process.
Tiger King. I'm never gonna financially recover from this. That was Reed. And I think she was trying to tell herself, I'm never going to emotionally come back from this. I will never recover.
And so then she's still just like wiping off her shirt.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, it was almost like, you know, I can't think of what a movie or show is right now, but I've seen it multiple times. Yeah. Where like the soul or something just like comes back. It's like, whoop. Like That's So Raven when she gets a vision.
Yeah. Like
that's kind of what happened. And then all of a sudden I was like, wow. This is going to be really good for the podcast. And then we laughed for a solid minute. Also, there was a toilet right next to Reed, but she was on the ground trying not to pee her pants laughing. Yeah. I think we needed the release.
We did.
We needed to just let it out. So we did laugh for a long time. Apparently, because we did ask Nicole about this later, we said, what was happening in the room? And she said, silence. But also the video apparently was just still playing on loop. And everyone's just sitting there. And then one of the women that works at the organization was like, so you guys want to move forward? And they're like, no. And then the woman who had helped escort me to the bathroom comes in. She goes, they're laughing. It sounds like they're okay. We're totally fine. And then they're like, okay, so does that mean we should continue? And everyone's like, no, I think we need to wait. So we're in there. I don't know how long we're in there.
Yeah, I have no idea how long.
But we just kept going in and out of laughter because it was like I was really starting to realize what happened. And it was like I either am going to hysterically cry, which wasn't really a get there mentally, or I just need to laugh about this so hard. And it was like the more I thought about what Reed was experiencing, and then just like these people around me that barely know me and what they just witnessed, like one of the most traumatic things that's ever happened to me, the closest I've ever come to death. All I could do was laugh. It was so funny to me. It still is pretty funny to me.
It's really funny in a dark way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, okay. And then I was like, oh, my Tide to Go pens in the room, as if that's going to get like so much falafel out of my clothes. And then somebody brought my vest.
Catherine brought your
and then
vest.
everybody's like so sweet. They're like, hey, like I have a
Everybody's so
camisole or
nice.
like a tank top under my shirt. Like, do you want to wear that? And then also I remember thinking in my head, laughing really hard in my head, thinking about me just wearing a tank top and a puffy vest and then falafel covered black jeans, which I thought would be really funny. And so part of me almost also made a joke that was like, hot look, gotta put it on, I'm in.
That's what you're sitting wearing.
Yeah, can you imagine I come back into that room in a tank top? I would look like I was like a Backstreet Boy.
Shoulders out.
I like come in and I'm like doing the moonwalk or something. I'm like, hey.
No, I'm picturing us like in the middle of like the sections that we led, shoulders out, just being like,
yes,
very serious, like, okay, y'all, this is our fundraising goal. Like,
yes, just a bright red puffy vest and then my name tag.
oh my God.
Tori. Hello, my name is Tori.
Oh my God.
So we do that. Also, we're getting ready to leave and I like get most of it out. Like my white long sleeve I was wearing was pretty much see-through at this point, so thank God I had the vest. Thank God I had the wherewithal to bring a jacket.
Yeah.
So I cover up, we like Reed like re-secures my name tag, because it was on my shirt, onto my vest, like just in case anyone after what we just experienced is gonna forget what your name is. I gotta make sure that's back on. So we do that and Reed's like, okay, I think I'm gonna cry. Are you gonna cry? I think I'm gonna cry a little bit. And she's like pacing back and forth and faster, and she's like, okay, nope, I don't need to cry. It's totally fine. I'm like, Reed, you need to stop crying. It's fine.
Yeah.
Please stop crying. Please stop crying. And she's like, okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
She made me realize, hey, think about where we are right now. Hold it together. I'm like, suck them back in, suck back in the tears.
Like, we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be.
We got it. We got
great.
it.
I'm alive. Okay, let's have that. Oh, thank God, I'm alive. Okay, so we wander out. I walk back into the room.
Energy's weird.
Real weird energy. But shout out to Nicole, because I'm pretty sure it was her that started it. Clapping.
Yeah.
I got a standing ovation for staying alive. Okay, and then Ree got a standing ovation for jumping into action.
Hey.
So you know what? If anything, at the end of the day, social chairs, knocking it out of the park. We brought entertainment. Also, I was laughing because I was like, I did look at Reed at one point when I really was fully kind of out of the shock, and I go, what if that whole thing was planned and I didn't actually choke? That all happens. I'm like spitting up food all over myself, and then we stand up, link hands, do a theater bow, and go, scene.
I wish.
The look on everyone's face would have been even better than just witnessing me almost die.
And we just act like nothing happened.
Yep, and then they
We
kick
just
us
sit
out
there.
of the board. They're like, you're out.
Oh my
The
God.
atrocity. Anyways, so that happened, and then apparently,
Well, so that happened, and then like literally the next section in the agenda was our section to lead an icebreaker. I have a hair in my mouth. And
really,
they're like, hey, Reed, you still want to lead the icebreaker? And in my mind, I'm in like reputation management mode of like, hey,
Yes.
bring it together. You just cried in the bathroom. You almost just witnessed your best friend die in front of all these people.
but we don't need to. We have about 5 hours. We need to push that aside.
Yeah, and I'm like, and we got to retreat to lead.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, hey, everyone. Here's our great icebreaker. My name's Reed. Haha. Isn't it ironic? I like to read. And I don't even know what came out of my
It
mouth.
sounded like she prepared it. Well, actually, I don't know because
You're
still
kind of, it
wasn't
was
aware.
like blurred lines there. Wait, no, that's that. Never
Ew.
mind. That's not what
Get
it was
rid of
like.
you, Robin Thicke.
So then I'm like, I turned.
Nope. That's not what it was like. I did give you consent to touch me and give you the Heimlich. I wouldn't give Robin Thicke the opportunity.
Nah, he'd take advantage of that.
Amen.
But I turned to Tori after I'm done introducing myself. Oh, yeah. Also, We hadn't even gotten to introductions yet. So
Yeah.
whilst Tori is nearing her death,
No one knew anything
No-
about us.
no one knows us. No, well, you know,
I mean, people did,
handful of
obviously.
people,
This is our second year of this.
but then it's like, and scene, and I'm Reed. And
yeah, in
this
case
is Tori.
in case anyone was wondering about these mystery women choking in the corner, guess what? Let me tell you about my about book I wish I could read for the first time again.
So I turned to Tori,
And you're like, misery loves company. Would you like to go
I'm like,
next?
can you?
And I'm pretty sure my eyes probably look like glazed over. And I just remember like just fully accepting it. I was like, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, she was
I
so
don't remember
professional.
basically anything after this, but somebody told me later, they go, do you remember the introduction you gave? I go, absolutely not. And they go, you did like a type 5 stand-up routine. And I said, excuse me? And they said, you were dropping jokes. Apparently I was just joke after joke after joke after joke.
Yeah,
So,
she's like,
you know, my brain was working a lot better than it was connecting to my body, but it was connecting to my mouth well, apparently.
well, also your flight or flight.
Fight or flight.
Freeze fawn.
I usually
is
freeze, but I think
humor.
it's fawn.
I think it's humor.
I think I'm fawning and I'm disarming with humor.
Oh.
But also, this was a really, just to get serious for a second, this was a really big wake-up call to just how deep the codependency runs. Because I think a lot of this was to make sure no one else felt uncomfortable with what had happened to me.
Oh, like the people pleasing?
Yep. I was like, I don't want anyone to panic about me. I want everyone else to feel comfortable. I
You're
don't
like-
want the rest of the day to be derailed, so I'm just gonna ha 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 ha. She almost died.
You're like, I'm so sorry you all had to witness that.
I feel like I did say sorry to multiple people. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, oh Lord.
Dude, you were freaking choking. You couldn't breathe.
But man, I said, well, there's always an opportunity to practice my tight hour. I guess I got to work on my stand-up routine.
Well, and she goes, one of the first things, I do work in healthcare. I am Heimlich maneuver trained or whatever
yeah, I
it's
was
called.
like, I have taken a full basic life support course, so the irony is I could have saved myself.
No, you were like, so if this happened to
If
anyone
this happened
else,
to anybody else,
you'd be
could
fine.
have saved you.
So if only I would have been the one choking, so you could have done the Heimlich, since I don't know the Heimlich. But we did decide we are going to do some, what's it called?
Basic life support class. So we're going to do a full Heimlich for all ages, and then we're going to do compression and breath support.
Because I realized I'm not prepared to save somebody's life. I don't have the skills, and
It's
I
been
would
about-
like the skills.
Yeah, it's been about 6 years since I did that, and I'm going to need a refresher. Also, I have, scarily enough, had to give multiple children the beginnings of a Heimlich. Thankfully, they're pretty malleable, so sometimes they're kind of, it's easier because you can flip them upside down, you know. I don't think you could have done that with me.
I'm sorry, Tori.
You know, maybe our new friends could have helped you tip me upside down. That would have been a real
I could have
warm
held
welcome.
your legs up.
Yeah,
But-
keg stand.
Oh yeah.
You could have been like, hey, this isn't the first time she's done this in the last 6 months.
Yeah. I just went straight to the baby one though after,
It worked.
and I hit the back of her. So,
But yeah,
that worked.
if you've never choked, that is a wildly humbling experience. It was wild. It was very wild. We performed this whole reenactment of the scene last night at the sleepover.
Oh my god.
I was late because I was at a wedding. I entered and everyone was demanding to know because Reed was a true homie, and she said, I can't tell this without her here.
And I didn't give them any. I
Yeah,
was
and
like,
no one knew what was coming. Multiple people told me this morning that they were still thinking about it.
Tori.
So you know what? Deep impact.
Yeah. And then last night we're doing karaoke and someone put this Charlie XCX song
Oh yeah.
about somebody's best friend dying, and I don't know this song. I'm looking up there at the words. I start sobbing. I'm like, this almost was me on Friday.
Yep.
I almost lost my best friend.
It's real sad.
Oh no, don't.
But also for the rest of the night. Okay, so this was within the first 45 minutes of the retreat, and this was a solid 5-hour retreat. And then we had social hour plans afterwards too with the same group. And so it was just a lot of everyone looking at each other every 30 minutes and going, hey, remember that time you almost died? So, you know,
now we're all the closest of best
there's
friends.
a really good trauma bond.
Yeah, we're all like, we went through that together. I still I've never seen that fear. I've never seen such
I am
fear.
somebody who is independent to a fault. So I
Yeah, I
if
know.
I'm asking for help and there's a look of fear,
She needs it.
I'm going to need it. If I
needs
can't do it myself, it's going to take a lot for me to ask for it. And wooey, did I almost die.
Yeah, I've never seen you look like that ever in my life. It was like something's really
And about
wrong.
30 minutes after this happens, we get a text from Reed's husband, John. He just goes, "How's it going, you two?" And I'm like, "You'll never believe it. I almost choked and died, but your wife did attempt to save me, and I appreciate that." And Reed's response, no exclamation mark, no period, no punctuation. I've never seen fear like that in my life.
I still like it's seared into my brain, and sometimes
It'll
I
never
see
get
it
out.
and I'm like, "Ooh, can't touch that."
Ooh. I think we're gonna run out of. Yeah, so that was the most wild way to end my week.
And then we find out from another board member.
Oh yes.
She goes, "Now this is why I never eat falafel." Apparently, in college, there was a Mediterranean falafel place on campus that had to be closed down because so many students would choke on falafel. Because, you think that it's soft and easy to digest and swallow, but
sure
no,
isn't.
it's in fact dry and can clog up the esophagus.
Yeah, it's almost like putty.
It puttied
it's
into
like
your throat.
cement.
Oh, God, I can't ever eat falafel.
And it
ever
has
again.
really it feels grainy, but there's no grip on that. It's not easy to get back up.
Jeez, OP.
It is wild.
Let me tell you, if this is not your sign to go get Heimlich maneuver trained and also
Please
to
do.
chew everything 32 bites before you swallow, I'm chewing so much now because what you explained to me, woo, that's...
Yeah. And also make sure in the CPR class or the basic life support class that you go to, they teach you how to give yourself the Heimlich.
Yeah, with a chair.
Because it also made me very aware. I mean, most of the time, if you're somewhere with other people, no one wants to witness someone die. So they're going to do what they can to save you. But it also just made me realize, like, what if no one jumped up or cared?
Wow, now...
What if no one was around? What if it was like one other person and they panicked and just ran away and then I was alone? Like, you really got to rely on the people around you. So if you want to make sure also you can be that person for someone else.
Yeah, and don't have the
trained.
bystander effect.
Correct. Be the good Samaritan.
Yeah,
there are laws
take
to protect
action.
you in that. Do it.
Take action.
But yeah, that's pretty wild.
I also, I blacked out a bit and only thought that I said, "Does anybody know the Heimlich? Does anybody know the Heimlich?" And then everybody was like, "Oh no, Reed. You said, 'Does anybody know the fucking Heimlich?'" Which I was a little embarrassed by since it was a professional setting. And I was like, "I'm so sorry for the
hilarious.
language. My bad. I thought my best friend was going to die in my arms."
Yeah, I think also, like, which is understandable, the fact that no one else seemed to be taking it as legitimate, which, like, the more I process too, I get a little bit angry about. It's not their fault. But I'm also like, did they not know? They didn't know the severity until we talked about it after, which is a fair response.
I got you, girl.
But Reed did. And she said, "Don't make me do this alone."
I'm like, if somebody knows this better than me,
Yes.
you're going to save her
we
life.
did find out who in the room does know the Heimlich, so it's really good that we know that.
I'm going to clock that every time I'm with people. Anytime I sit down for a meal, I'll be like, "Who knows it?"
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
We did then go get dinner afterwards with most of the people that were there. So we really got to debrief, chat it out. It was a good time. And then Reed, fair enough, was really policing what we ordered to eat. She was
Yeah,
like,
I said soft foods
food
only.
And we
She's
were
got to
fine.
be.
I know, and I just decided we're going to jump back in and just start eating again because I can't succumb to the fear.
Nope.
Thank God.
She has, you only have one chance at life, really.
Yep.
And she's like, YOLO. Wow.
I was like,
Here
I
we
want
go.
these mozzarella sticks and queso dip, so I guess I'm going to eat it. I'm just going to really chew a lot.
And that cauliflower. Sorry, I didn't let you
The
have that much.
cauliflower was
of it.
really good.
It was really good.
You know what? It was a survivor's reward. You deserved that cauliflower.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
so welcome.
Yeah. Well, I'm just really happy that Tori's alive and that we survived this. This was the first time that we've had a friendship near-death experience together.
Yeah. It
Rocked our world, I'll tell you that. We're different people.
truly,
We're not the same.
truly. And I haven't even told my parents the story yet because I want them to hear it in this format. So shout out to Mom and Dad.
She's alive. She's okay.
I lived.
And you guys, you can trust her with me. I got her.
That's right. I got good
in
people
the
around me.
arms of an angel. Wait, that's probably the wrong song to sing.
Yeah, that's about
Oh, wait.
puppies dying.
Maybe there was an angel there.
Yeah.
What if it was Munchie or Yogi? Yogi saved your life.
Love it.
Because dogs go to heaven.
They do. I think it's the only heaven that exists.
That's my belief system.
And it's for animals because they're pure.
I literally, because we're on the like trauma conversation, dark humor. Yeah, when our old dog Munchie died as he was getting wheeled off, his lifeless body was getting wheeled off. Wow, still one of the worst things I've ever seen and experienced. But as he's leaving me, I turn to John, I start crying. I go, I do believe in dog heaven and he's there. It's real. And that's who saved you, truly, are all the dogs in dog heaven.
I remember after that happened, and then I remember John saying, he was like, yeah, Reed, that was pretty wild. That even got you believing in heaven again. You're like, I would like to be clear. I said dog heaven. Dog heaven. And he was like, okay, I'm just saying. You got religious.
That's also the only heaven I want to go to.
Oh, man, I would love it.
Oh, God, I love dogs.
Lay in a field of pips.
Yeah, and then Ruby sensed. She sensed the terror. She came and loved on Tori so much.
She doesn't often, I feel like to leave Corduroy's side when they're both home. But she didn't care what he was doing. She just darted down here because I left the doors open, and we were like, hey, we need to decompress in our sweats. So we got home, and we put sweats on, and we were going to keep hanging out. And so all of a sudden I just hear a little jingle, and there's little Ruby, and she runs in here and jumps in my arms, not even on the couch or anything. She jumps onto me. I pick her up. She tucks her little paws in and nuzzles into my neck. She knew.
She absolutely knew.
She said, thank God you're alive.
The dog spirit spoke to her and said,
yeah,
your auntie's going to need some love.
She was like,
she went through it today.
Hey, we were teaming up here in dog heaven, and we saved her, and I'm going to need you to take her from here, okay?
I'm really sorry. That's like where my brain went. Like, I'm so tired, and I'm just thinking about dogs in heaven.
No, it's sweet.
That's going to make me cry.
It's sweet.
Oh, God.
You know what was really cute?
Tell me.
Right now. That gave me emotional support this week was seeing Ruby in new pajamas.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And new little strawberry pajamas.
Oh, my God.
Participating in girls' night.
Yeah, so with our slumber party, it was a girls' night. So John and Corduroy, they went off and had a boys' night. But we kept Ruby here, and
because she's a girl.
Yeah, she's a girl, and she wore her little slumber party jammies.
Oh, she was the hit.
God, she was so
Everyone
cute.
was obsessed with her, which, who isn't?
Duh, you gotta be.
And she looked fabulous in her little jammers. She was perfect. It was really sweet. So yeah, a lot of emotional support needed this week, but we got through it because we have Besties, and thank God for that.
Thank God.
I'm going to need everybody to watch Monsters, Inc. and potentially other Disney Pixar movies and report out on
how terrible they are for women.
Things. In this economy, we got to be looking out for each other. And sometimes that means looking back on past media and criticizing it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't know why I just said that, but yeah.
Yep. I feel drunk.
I'm
so tired.
I'm so tired. I'm so hungry. My stomach is going. But guess what? I don't know if we've told you all this, but every time after we're done filming, we treat ourselves to a little Kirkland brand Uncrustable.
I believe they're called Crust-Offs.
Yeah, generic for
not
the win.
Crust-Offs.
And we both eat one, and we, revel in what we created.
And we have about 13 grams of protein, which I think is going to revive us. But also, Reed's parents are coming over for dinner. So we got to go get ready for that because we got to wake up.
We got to wake up. We got to have fun with George and Denise.
Shout out to those angels.
Shout out to my parents. Thanks for birthing me.
Be thinking of us because we're going to try really hard not to share this story with them.
And just let them also
experience it. So
guess what, guys?
We got to go think of some other topics of conversation.
We were keeping a little secret while you're having dinner with us. Yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
She's alive. She's well. No need to be scared when she's got her emotional support bestie with her, because it's not just emotional support I'm providing. It's also physical. Digestive support. Call me Imodium.
Beautiful.
Call me Pepto.
You're the opposite of IBS. Oh, that is a funny story we can end with. This week I did order an Instacart order of groceries. Because frankly, I hate going into the grocery store. And so I use Instacart quite often. I got some groceries. I'm unpacking the bag. And what do I find? Super Plus Plus tampons and a box of Imodium. And so I'd like to take this chance to shout out the sweet individual who had ordered that, and it ended up in my order. You clearly were going through it, and you were pouring liquids from a lot of holes that I unfortunately took the plugs of.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about the unplugging of your holes.
We're sorry to that person.
I hope that you had electrolytes. I hope that you had a hot water bottle. And I hope you were able to get your money back.
Yes.
Yep.
And I hope that anybody listening to this gives us a 5-star rating,
Please.
on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And if you could, go check it out on YouTube. I know we're just sitting on a couch talking, but you know what?
It's fun to watch us
just look at us. Just look at us in the face, okay?
Watch us.
And, like, subscribe, download the
You could write a
episode.
fun little review. Tell us your favorite moment.
Yeah, please do. Please
Share
interact
on your
with us.
Instagram.
We're
Send the
here.
link to your friends.
We just, we're just really having the best time. And Tori almost died.
Yeah, so make sure I get some likes.
Yeah.
If anything, make sure that we can start monetizing this.
Come on. We got to pay. We got
on.
to pay for this girl's
Yeah, because clearly
therapy.
I'm high risk. No insurances are going to cover me.
Yeah. The kid.
Help me pay my premiums.
Don't let them listen to this pod. Well, we love you all so much. We're so grateful for the emotional support you all bring us. We hope you enjoyed listening to this harrowing tale.
And we're going to make sure that we share out some links to where to find basic life support classes near you.
Yeah.
And maybe a manual on how to do the Heimlich. Someone did tell us last night they tried to watch a YouTube video and a panic while someone was choking and there was a damn ad. So don't let that be you.
Nope.
And
We
that,
hope you have a great week. Happy hump day. And we will talk to you next week.
YOLO.
Love you.
Everyone be happy.